Rivers, Roethlisberger going head-to-head Sunday night action. They're part of the draft class of 2004, along with Eli Manning, of course. Rivers still looking for that first Super Bowl win, and I feel like he knows what time it is. He's got to get one. It's got to be this year without his guy, Melvin Gordon. Here's a question for the breakfast table on a Wednesday morning. Of the current active quarterbacks, dudes who were drafted in the same year, draft brothers, if you will, which matchup would you most like to see? We have one Sunday night. Let's pick one just out of the books.
Oh, I have the best one right here. Let's go back to 2017, the NFL draft. I'm going Pat Mahomes versus Deshaun Watson.
Talk about it.
Listen, Pat Mahomes, he goes 10th overall, right? Of course, we know KC, they move up to get him. And Deshaun Watson, the Texans get him, and it kind of surprises people. But what I love about this is as you're looking at this matchup, you're thinking to yourself, Nate, are you crazy? Why would you go Deshaun Watson up against Pat Mahomes? Do you understand how Pat Mahomes started his career? Do you remember how Deshaun Watson started his career? Through 8 games, Pat Mahomes, 22 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns, right? I mean, he's the league leader for the MVP votes right now. Last year, Deshaun Watson, before tearing his ACL, my man, 20 touchdowns. If you include the season he had last year and the start of this year, 20 touchdowns through 8 games, 22-20. So they're right there with each other. And as far as outside the pocket, pure arm strength, and being able to make plays, they're both right there with each other. That right there is a gigantic matchup, massive one. So I'm going with those two right there.
You go through that draft. Trubisky was taken before both of them. He's having a good year. That draft class is actually shaping up to be one of the best we've ever seen. If you've got all 3 of those teams in the playoffs in year 2, very impressive.
Mahomes Watson, a very likely playoff game.
That's a very likely playoff game. That is good. If you were to ask me which one I'd rather have, I don't know if I would have the answer right now, but I think I'd probably go Mahomes. Wait, that's a whole other conversation.
That's not the segment, Peter.
2012 draft class. Andrew Luck was the most celebrated college quarterback coming out since John Elway. He goes first overall, and there's no questions. He takes his team right to the playoffs. But there was a guy drafted 75th overall by the Seattle Seahawks in that draft named Russell Wilson. And if you were to ask me 2 quarterbacks that I enjoy watching the most this season, if I had to pick them, it's Russell Wilson and Andrew Luck. And right now they're playing their best football, arguably, of their entire careers. And that includes Russell Wilson winning a Super Bowl in the second year of his career. But right now, both these quarterbacks are throwing their teams on their back with some unheralded players around them. And they're surprise teams in their respective conversations and their respective conferences. I love both these guys. I think they're both on Hall of Fame trajectory. And their stories this season are so symbolic to me of what they are. Russell Wilson counted out his entire college career despite doing it always on the field, taken in the 3rd round. That was the Seahawks this season. They were left for dead. Andrew Luck, a guy who has always said he couldn't win the big one at Stanford. Sure enough, here we are, and he's winning the big one every single week the past month and a half. I love both these quarterbacks. I would be fine if they were facing off in the Super Bowl this year.
I'll go Tom Brady. I like that, by the way. I'll go Tom Brady. I know it's not an active quarterback, the rest of the list, but up against those 6 that were taken in front of him. Brady 6 still fascinates me to this day. Our friend of the show, Chad Pennington, I'll name him team captain. I just want to see all of these guys, all 6, come back, and you've got a shot. I don't know if they're going to each take a drive or, run some trick plays. It's so hot right now in the NFL to have 2 quarterbacks. Why not have 6 of them out there trying to take down Tom Brady? And to sort of even things out, because I still think it needs to be evened out here, back from 2000 in this draft, I'm going to give them Bill Belichick as their coach for this game. The Brady 6 get Bill up against TB12. Now we're cooking.
What are those guys up to? I actually saw
Chad's
Chris Redman on a beach about 2 years ago.
Who?
Chris Redman.
Really?
I saw him.
Sells insurance now, right?
He looks great. He was in shape. He's everything, throwing the ball with his kids.
One of them, unfortunately, lost their job this week at USC.
T. Martin.
So he wants this game to happen. Let's make this happen.
Still national champ and a Vols legend. I'm going to go back to 2016. In my house, we were playing a lot of the Trolls soundtrack. Peter's listening to a lot of Chainsmokers at that time. And I like a #1 pick. I'm looking at Jared Goff, all right? And you think Goff versus Wentz. Not so fast, my friend. I'm going to go down to the 4th round of the 2016 draft at Rayne Dakota Prescott, who sat there round after round watching all these quarterbacks go in front of them. And I would look at a young Cooper Cousins and tell him in the 4th round you can still accomplish great things. I want to see the Cowboys and the Rams because if we get Goff and Dak, we also get the bonus of Zeke versus Gurley. We get DeMarcus versus Aaron Donald. We're talking about how McVay is a big Cowboys fan this week, lose the Saints. This could be a potential playoff matchup too. Dak versus Goff, that's the one I want. 2016, can't stop the feeling.
Collateral awesomeness is what you're saying.
Yeah, collateral awesomeness. I'm here for it. It's my fantasy team.
Nobody
Sunshine in your pocket.
Jameis Mariota?
Jameis Mariota.
Remember when we wanted them to have all the sizzle? We wanted to say we're going to stack these two up against each other for the rest of time.
Still moments.
Yeah.
Mariota had himself a game.
Yeah, Mariota was incredible and lost by 3 scores.
A great game. We'll be back on Good Morning Football after this. Thanks for kicking it with us on a Wednesday.